All right, last part is just looking at your file settings. Most of these are pretty typical as far as sharing, renaming, opening, things like that, moving it to folders. We're going to look at the revision history because we're going to want to pull up a previous version than what we just had. You can change the language of it, which is nice. You can download it as a PDF, as SVG, a PNG, or a JPEG, which means you cannot download these as GIF files, which means you're not going to get an animated GIF from this. But what you can do is you can publish it to the web. And by publishing it to the web, if it is animated, it will move and do the animation that way, and it'll give you a URL and a code. You can also email collaborators and attach this as an attachment, and you can print. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the revision history and find the version we want, and then we're going to download it and then show you how to publish it to the web. All right, so let's go. All right, so here it is. Wow, this would not be a pretty picture because there would be nothing on it. So let's go to File, and then Version History, and then See Version History. And I'm going to click on this down arrow because that's when it started. All right, so we made a lot of changes. I think it was maybe around here. Let's see. That's okay. Let's do that one where we start. All right, let's do this one. All right, so let's say we want to keep this one. So I'm going to restore this version. And so basically put that version at the top as if it was 338. So it's like the newest version. All right, so now that I have this, and notice with the transparent background, it's going to make it curved. It's not going to have like a boxy look. I'm going to do File, and then Download. And let's do it as a PNG. And, oh, it's untitled, so let's just call this Hapara. And there it is. It is downloaded there as a PNG file. I am just going to open it in my default Windows right here. So it opens, depending on whatever version computer you're using, it's going to open up that particular image. Ta-da! There we go. And of course, all of those have edits and creates within, so I can add rain if I wanted to, or something like that. So now I can see I have this image, and notice the background here is all curved. So this image is ready to insert anywhere else. So if I went to something like docs.new and just opened up a new Google document, I can insert it here. And so if I go to Insert Image, I can insert an image straight from my drive. Let's try that. I just want you all to see this. So I just created it. It's under Recent, right? But it's not showing up. Okay, and the reason it's not showing up is because technically in a drawing, it's not considered an image. This image is actually different than, these are actual images themselves that have been like PNGs, JPEGs, stuff like that. So a Google Drawing is not going to show up or appear as an image inside of your drive when you do Insert Image. Now, if I do Insert from Upload from Computer, well then I can just go to the one I just downloaded. There it is, PNG, and there's my grasshopper. And notice it's got the background, it's got behind it's white, so let's say I change my background on this page itself under Page Setup, just so you can see the background is different. See, so the curves stay there. So it did do an actual transparent background. So that's one way. While we're here in Word, one of the things you can do, and I talked about when I was talking about examples, is when you're brainstorming and trying to, maybe like a storyboard or some sort of web map or something like that, you can just go to Insert inside of Docs and then go Insert Drawing, and you can do from New or from Drive. So here's the part where instead of from Image, you actually do it from Drawing. So let me do from Drive first just to show. Now it's going to bring up all my drawings rather than images. And there's that one. And if I link it to the source, it means the editors can update the drawing and can see the link in the source. But if I insert it unlinked, then it's just going to be the image at that time. So it's basically not carrying over any changes. So there it is. So there's two ways there I can bring it in. And the last thing I said is if you don't do something you already made, but if you just want to start from scratch, you can just hit New, and now you can do any type of story web or something like that. So if I go to Insert, and then I want to do lines or shapes, let's do the connectors, because that's actually a pretty good one. So we'll do a connector here, and we'll do a couple circles. So this one would connect, and we'll do another, do a square up here. So the connectors are just going to connect to whatever area I choose. And now when I hit Save and Close, now that's actually part of my doc. And if I want to go back into it at any time, I can just click Edit and make changes. So that's inserting from a doc, inserting it directly as a drawing, inserting as a downloaded image, or creating a brand new drawing right inside of your doc. Go back to our download here. And so we already downloaded it, and there's other options available too, but PNG is going to keep that background. If you choose JPEG, it's going to download it as a JPEG easily. And notice it all said untitled. It's because I have not titled this. All right. The last thing I'm going to do is publish to the web. So when I click on Publish to the Web, it will give me a link based on the size that I had. I can choose large, small, let's go large, and I click Publish. It's going to double check to ask if I really want to publish this. And so now this link is published. If I went to a new tab and clicked, it will actually allow it to download. Okay, so that's one way. If I went to a Google site, so I'm just doing sites.new. And now if I were to bring it in there, I click on Drive. And let's go to Recent. And it's going to show all my recent files. So there's one of them. You could do it that way. You could even bring it up there to be a part of that. Or if I change the image, I can select the image from my Google Drive. Oh, here's where we'll get out of trouble again because it's looking for images. So one other way would be by URL. So if I paste the URL, ta-da, now that picture is the background for it. So we downloaded it. We've inserted it into a doc and used that. We've even inserted it into sites. Go to Drive. And I pulled it up that way. Last thing is just to talk about other places to insert. So you can make kind of a graphic where it has lots of different parts to click on. And so ThingLink is one of those neat tools, and here's a shortcut to get there. But basically you take any one of your images and you can have hotspots. And so when they click on a hotspot, it opens up a video or something like that. It's just a kind of an instant ready-made web page. So Drawings works easily with ThingLink. So I would definitely check that out too. All right, so now let's go on to our activities.